Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Hola.
Shiny, sunshiny faces this morning. All the people in their places with sunshiny faces. How was your weekends? Tell me some goodness. Tell me some amazing news. Tell me the wins. Even if it was as simple as I got out of bed. If you consider a win, I want to hear about it.
Had an open house and 11 people showed up. All the
Woohoo!
other open houses I had, like 2 or 3 people showed up.
You have them all in your database and tagged appropriately?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to uh, follow up with them today.
You're going to try and follow up with them today, or are you going to follow up with them today?
I'm going to.
Okay.
There is no try.
There's do or do not. There is no try.
Thank you, Yoda.
Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Robin. Good morning, Stephen. Good morning, Shoshana. Good morning, Annette. Good morning, Jacob. Good morning, Mara. Good morning, Larry. We had an open house with 11 plus people in it. Robin's didn't freeze to death in the cold front that she's dealing with.
We've got a frozen Dan. Does everybody have frozen?
No, I have a moving Dan.
Okay. I have a frozen. So there he is. Okay, thank you. Probably just my internet.
Well, now he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah. I'm really good at not moving. I was the hide and seek world champion for 2002. That's a lie, but it sounds really cool. All right, someone else tell me, what did you do this weekend? What happened since Friday? Did you put any more thought to your goals, your aspirations, your dreams for 2021? What exactly is 21 going to look like in your world of success?
So I have a question. I did open house this weekend for another agent. And this is the second time that I've done an open house for this agent. And both times the property has gone active contingent before the open houses. So another real estate agent happened to stop by on the last day that I was there and told me that the agent that I was opening the house for typically would leave it active for this other agent. And so I find out that both times she's put it as active contingent for me and nobody has shown up to these open houses. So what normally happens in these situations? Like, I feel pretty used at the moment, not gonna lie. So just kind of want to know how I'm supposed to proceed, because I'd really like to be able to do this, but I don't want to be taken advantage of.
Group, any insight?
Well, according to the MLS, we are supposed to get it in within, isn't it 48 hours or something? Change the status. So if there's a rule where we're going to get in trouble, they need to follow that, right? I mean, I get it, Sarah, but Dan, you need to tell us your guidance.
Well, I'm only upset because another agent told me that this agent will leave it active for him so that way he can get, and that's just, I mean, right. Like, again, like, I now don't want to hold open houses for this person because I feel used, and this person could have very easily, I guess, talked to me. I'm new, so I guess it's all a learning curve for me. Absolutely get it, but I really, like, I'm trying here. So I definitely was a terrible feeling, not gonna lie.
I'm with you. The way it should have been handled is if you do for one, do for all. Consistency is the key mark of professionalism. And I would have a conversation with that agent and say, if I'm doing open houses for you, I understand. Would you please leave them active? I know we're going to change them until after the open house, because you're spending time, money, and effort to market these open houses to generate leads. And as a successful agent, I would imagine, or any kind of agent's been in the business longer than a year, close to a year, knows open houses aren't to sell that house.
No.
They're to generate leads. They're to generate opportunities for other agents. So that would be a conversation. And bearing on how that conversation goes, if it's a positive one that feels like it's going to have a positive change in the future, then continue on. If not, soldier forth and we'll find you other ones.
Okay.
The one thing I
So-
can say, there's a lot of bridges in Tucson. If someone wants to burn a bridge down, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing is
So-
moving on. So
So I had two open houses this weekend, and I've been doing them, and sometimes they've been great, sometimes not. And then this weekend I had to like really babysit and make sure in MLS that it was back on the market, active, because it was inactive, one of them. And then I had to make sure that open house was in there because it wasn't in there for a little bit. And then unfortunately one of them was canceled like right when it was supposed to start. So I think sometimes stuff just happens and we have to find the best team / agents listing to work with to do their listing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so maybe you can find other agents,
Oh, and that's fine. Again, I understand to find other agents. I just want to know going forward, like if this is the standard protocol, like I want to make sure, you know what I mean? I just like, again, like Dan said, like we're all putting in time and effort. Like I have to, like I have kids and things that I have to. So I just
Right.
thought it was rude on their part. And, yeah, I do intend to talk to them about this, or especially if they ask me to. And that's the thing is like, they're asking me, like I got asked on this one. So I don't know.
I know. I mean, I got asked on one too, and then it got canceled on, whatever accident or something.
Would have
So
rather canceled, honestly, so I didn't have to waste my
Well-
7-8 hours of time. So
right. I mean, I get it, but I still wasted time of preparing, going
sure.
there,
Yeah.
setting up. You know what I mean? Like, time is whatever. But
Yes.
Yeah, in this unique market that we're in with things moving so quickly, this is one of the hazards of doing that. And or if
Oh.
you're scheduling an open house 3, 4, 5 days ahead of time,
Yeah.
it's almost you say to the other agent, I'm going to check with you again on Friday if this open house is on Saturday. I'm going to check with you again on Friday, make sure this thing isn't active
Right.
contingent.
Absolutely, and
That
I
kind
did
of thing.
that.
Yeah.
Yep, and she still asked me to hold it because the first time. Anyway, I can go on and on. I don't want this to. I was definitely abused in this situation. I am not the only one to acknowledge this. So this was not a cool thing. I've done all of that, and she, still. And this is a seasoned agent, so that's why I feel even more. Anyway, I'm just gonna leave it because it really just. Anyway, so there we go.
Yeah, well, you have a plan for next time. Once in the normal environment of the normal market, setting up an open house 2-3 days ahead of the weekend is fine because normally they sit longer on the market. But where we're at right now, again, it's having to adjust accordingly for those things. So yeah.
I've heard one agent give the excuse for not changing it from active to active contingent that they were going to wait for the earnest money to get deposited. So I don't know if we could mention that to agents who are changing the status right away to say, hey, we could use the excuse that the earnest money is not in yet because some people wait to put an active contingent for that. So just one idea to give folks if they haven't thought of that.
Well, facing forward with the general public, it's either under contract or it's not, regardless of whether there's earnest money or whatever. In the conversation with the other agent, I can see that point, but for the public coming in or that type of thing, it's either or. There's no well, they didn't put the earnest money in yet, so we have a contract that the seller here has accepted, but the earnest money hasn't been in, so technically still that's not part of a conversation with the public.
No,
Either
that
is
was-
under contract or it's not.
Yeah, that was for the other agent, and she's
Yeah.
having issues with the agent keeping it active.
and that's the thing is, unfortunately, we've utilized active contingent improperly. Active contingent by definition is that we have accepted a contract. We are also accepting backup contracts. So that's the biggest thing. If you're having an open house, this is the scripting asset. Just like anything else, you want to call and confirm and set up expectations and set the future pace of what's going to happen. Mr. Mrs. Listing Agent, thank you for letting me the opportunity to do your open house this weekend. If it goes under contract between now and then, what is your plan? What would you have me do? I'm going to have time, money, and effort invested in this open house to generate leads for myself. And I would hate for that to go for naught. If it goes under contract, do you feel comfortable allowing me to still run an open house? And if so, would you mind leaving it active in the system so I can generate some leads? Some agents have issues with that. Some sellers have issues with that. But having that conversation up front will help levy out that concern. But if it weren't the market we were dealing in, we wouldn't see this as much. If you've
Yeah, and that I absolutely agree. And I did ask her originally, like, it's active contingent. Like, do you think, do you still want me to do it? I asked the wrong question. I should have asked her. Like, I should have said, I learned a lesson. I thought that this was supposed to be one of those things where people were out to help each other out. And that's not how this feels. So that's where I'm having the issue.
It feels gross.
It feels very gross. So.
No, I apologize for the agent base, because I'm a voice for the agent base. I want to apologize how that makes you feel that way. And that's not KW. That's not our culture. We're here to help each other out and grow in any way we can, period. That's shitty that you have that situation, but we're going to work towards not having it ever happen again. Got some head nods on that one. Charity looks like she's still asleep, but just staring at the screen. Okay. Glad to see you, though, Miss Charity. Good morning. Proud of you. Proud of you for being here.
I didn't hear the full conversation, so I wasn't sure what exactly was going on. But
Open house etiquette.
I am here.
But I think we've covered it for there. Now, speaking of open houses, let's just continue on that theme. What do you say when somebody walks in the open house?
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome home.
Welcome home. Welcome home. Welcome home. Why do we say welcome home? Two things. It's friendly. It's a pattern interrupt because people are not thinking about it. But also, welcome home is presumptive. It's an assumptive close. It's getting the brain to trigger. Not just, hey guys, welcome in. Come on in. No, welcome home. And then what do you say after you say welcome home?
What brings you here today?
Yeah. Ask them why they're out and about. What brings you in? What had you stop by? Whose choice was it to stop by, yours or his?
His.
Right?
How'd you find me today?
And then the next question, how did you find us? That way you can know if your sign placement's working. If you got signs on two sides of the neighborhood, find out what side of the neighborhood they're coming from. Why is that important?
Make sure you're maximizing your signage. You're taking the time to put them out there. Got to know if they're in the right, not necessarily in the right place, but got to know if they're being seen.
Yeah, you got to make sure that they're effective.
My sign-in sheet has a field where it actually asks how they heard about the open house. So if it was on Zillow, they'll put Zillow. Or if they were just driving by.
I've even used, open house on a couple of windy days. I've even used hey, are my signs still standing out there? The wind's blowing pretty hard. Yeah. Oh yeah, we saw it, that type of thing. It's like sometimes your signs are so far away, you can't leave to go check on them.
Here's a tough one. How do you get them to sign in?
Well, with COVID right now, you can ask them. It's a safety protocol.
Well, I think COVID just made it easier for us to get people's contact information, but.
Also, I tell them that it's like more of a feedback information sheet. And so I tell them that the sellers will really appreciate any feedback that you might have on the home.
That's great.
I give them a clipboard with that, with the MLS sheet. And then I ask them to write notes down on the MLS sheet as they're walking through the house. and then just give me the feedback for them when they're finished viewing the home.
I love to ask for feedback. So who wants to run through it as a client and as a realtor? Saying it wrong, realtor. Just kidding with you guys. See if you're right. But I want to see I think open houses are coming back and they're going to be helpful. But the most important thing of an open house is to do what?
Obtain data.
Obtain information. So you can do what with it?
Follow up.
Follow up. Because what was made in the follow up?
A lead.
Fortunes. Fortunes were made in the follow up. If every hunter ever only took one shot and did not follow the animals, we would not have hunters very long. I'm just saying. If every time your husband or your wife or your boyfriend or girlfriend or what have you stopped after the first time you said no, you probably wouldn't be married or in a relationship. Just saying, follow up is important. So let's run it from the top. Somebody walked into your open house. Who's my agent? Charity, thank you so much for volunteering to be the agent this morning. That's nice of you. And Robin, you're amazing for being our client.
Hi, Robin. Welcome home.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm well. So what brings you to the open house today?
Oh, I'm just looking. I was driving around Tucson.
All right. All right. Can I ask, how'd you hear about the open house?
Oh, I saw your sign out there on the corner.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Well, let me give you this clipboard here really quick. This is our sign-in sheet, so we know who's been in the home. And there's also a place where you can leave feedback as you're walking through the home.
Okay, certainly. That sounds good.
Yeah. And do you have any questions before you start walking through and looking at the home?
Sure. Can you tell me a little bit about this neighborhood?
This is the best neighborhood in Tucson. That's all you need to know. Or it will be once you move in.
There we go.
But there's a lovely pool in the backyard. There's a school down the street, close to shopping. So what interests you about this neighborhood?
Well, I just want a safe community to live in, but I don't want the HOA fees to be like too high or to have a super restrictive HOA. Do you know, are there a lot of rules here?
There's not. I mean, you can't paint your house pink. It's $20 a month. So not bad.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, yeah. All right, all right. Well, here you go. Do you have any other questions?
No, not right now. I'd just like to go take a look around.
All right, I'll be right here when you're done.
Thank you.
So do you ask if they have an agent? I mean, I always ask that. That they're working with.
Right, are you working?
You don't really want to ask that directly, though. You kind of want to like work your way around that.
Yeah, I was taught to ask, have you put in any offers yet? Because if they haven't put in an offer, more often than not, they don't have an agent, or else the agent would be with them.
Have you put in offers, or has anyone signed you up to receive MLS listings?
In that high, it's pretty high elevation.
Army, mute yourself.
Oh shit.
Another good question is, how's your real estate shopping going? What's more intrusive? Have you put in an offer yet, or how's your shopping experience?
The other one I've used is, how many homes have you seen so far today?
Right. So how do you guys think, let's go back to that conversation. What were some key points that we could have jumped on? First, she said she's driving around Tucson. Charity was so worried about asking the next question. Well, what made you see my open house? Instead of saying, well, what has you driving around Tucson?
Mhm.
A lot of times in the conversations, they will give us the keys to the castle. All we have to do is pick them up. What has you driving around Tucson? Well, I'm looking for a house. Oh, fantastic. How's your shopping going now? Oh, I just started. Fantastic. What neighborhoods have you seen that you liked? What parts of town do you like? Where do you work?
You do it, Dan? You be the agent. I'll be the person walking in the open house.
Well, actually, we'll go right back to Robin doing it if you want, just to start on that. But
Okay.
all right, Stormy. Hey, welcome home, sir. I'm Big Dan Caldwell. And you are?
Welcome home. What does that mean?
Welcome home, brother. There's got to be a reason you stopped by. What had you pop in?
I seen your signs.
Where at?
You had like 15 of them, I think, something like that. It was
So
on-
they're
they
still
were on-
working?
Yeah.
Last weekend, they all got stolen. Someone wants to see my pretty face everywhere.
Oh yeah, I bet, man.
How many houses have you seen today?
Oh, this is the second one.
What does the first one look like?
First one was nice.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, do me a favor, if you could sign in right here before we track all the people who are coming in and out, just to make sure that we have any exposures, we can contact you and how COVID's going. How I like to do things, Mr. Stormy, is I like to let you go wander the house and take a look at some things, kind of get a feel for it. I'll stay around here for make sure the front door gets watched and no one sneaks in on us to keep us both safe. Does that sound good to you?
Yes.
All right, before you leave, I'd love to talk to you again, get some input on the house. My seller would love your opinion on it. Have fun.
For sure. I'm walking out the house.
So you're walking out the house?
Yeah.
Get
I'm-
going,
I
kid.
saw the house. Now I'm walking out.
Hey, Stormy, before you take off, man, let me ask you some questions. What do you think of it?
I like it.
Yeah? What was your favorite part?
The big back room. I could already picture my stuff in there.
Yeah? Let me
Mhm.
ask you, everyone's got something they would change. What would be the first thing you would change in this house?
The price.
Yeah? Well, that's easy.
Yeah, I'd probably lower it.
Well, I would too, right? Why wouldn't you want to get a better deal on this house? Would you like to put an offer in?
I don't know. I'll think about it, and if I do, I'll make sure it gets taken care of.
Oh, absolutely. Now, you said you want to lower the price. Other than the price, the house is kind of perfect for you, was it?
Almost, yeah.
Almost? What's it missing?
Well, it is. I don't like how the master. I want a split floor plan, so I kind of wanted the master separate from the other rooms.
What's important about a split floor plan?
Well, if I ever have guests, I don't want them hearing what I'm, like I want them to have their privacy, and then I could have mine.
Gotcha. So split floor plan, privacy is important. Do you have any kids?
No.
No kids? Okay. Well, split floor plans are great for kids too, because you can send them their own way and you can't hear them in the middle of the night jumping on the bed. It also makes help. So if this house isn't perfect for you, man, I know I can find one that would be ideal and probably in a better price range for you. Let's set some time up this week to sit down, go a Zoom call or in person. I give you all the information, plus the neighborhoods that'll be influential to you. What time works best for you, morning or afternoon?
I've already done this with someone already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how's that journey going for you?
It's cool, man. Like I like to be independent and just go see homes whenever I feel like it, though.
Oh, no, there's nothing wrong with that. Is there anything that piqued your interest enough you'd want to move on right now?
Definitely both of these homes that I saw today are something I really like, and that's why I went out of the way to go see them today.
Well, fantastic. We can get an offer put in for you on this house so you could be living here in the next 30 days.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I'll probably just call the agent that I've been working with every now and then. I call him, hit him up, ask him a couple questions, have him write an offer when I want him to. So he'll probably write the offer.
Great. What's his name?
His name is Anthony Sotelo.
Okay, great. Well, I'll give him a call and let you know to stop by.
Okay, cool. So that's what I was looking for. So then you're asking for the agent's phone number. You're gonna call him. Hey, your client was here today, and
Usually, if you ask them, hey, what's their name, and they can rattle a name off like that, they're working with somebody. Hey, great. You know what? I'll give them a call. Let them know you're stopping by. Any feedback you'd like, they ask me for, I'll give it to them. Here's my card. If ever you have a question about this specific house, you couldn't remember something, give me a call. I never directly ask, are you working with somebody? But you said 3 different times that you had another agent you would work with, and you would have him submit offers for you on time to time, which already told me you had an offer written. And when I asked for the name, you, well, of course, because you were scripting, you try to say your name first. But it's okay. But you had a name right at the top of your head. It's just, I have an agent already is the same as I'm just looking in a lot of these open house conversations.
But couldn't you being quite so forward with wanting the name of the agent and saying that you're gonna call them, I mean, that could, you know, turn them off or upset them. I mean, it
No,
could.
that's how you find out if they're working with someone or not, though.
Yeah. If somebody comes in my open house and says, I'm working with an agent, okay, that's great. What's their name? I'll make sure I let them know you stop by.
You can also tell them that you'd like to follow up with that agent. That's what I tell them. I'll just say, hey, you know what, that's great. You know what, if you don't mind, can you write on the bottom of my feedback form here their name? And then don't worry about if you don't have their number, because I can always find that on my own. But I'd love to follow up with them just to see what you guys thought about the home. And then that's all I tell them. They're like, oh yeah, sure. And then they just write down the name. And then I confirm with them to make sure I can read their handwriting.
Right. And the thing is who do you represent at the open house?
Seller.
Seller. You represent the seller's interests. So there's nothing wrong with you getting feedback. A lot of people are going to have agents. If you're in the upper price points, the 400 plus price points, maybe 350, most are going to have agents that talk to. If you're in the 100s to 200s, and it's a crap, you don't know. It's a grab bag. It could be the next client has an agent, or maybe you're more personable and know more about the neighborhood than the person they're working with, and they fire that agent and call you back. But always do your job. What happens if you get a neighbor in?
And you better become the expert real quick.
Opposite. Let them be the expert.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, then they'll give you all the information.
How long have you been living in this neighborhood? What do you like about
right.
the neighborhood? Tell me about the neighborhood.
Who wants
Larry
to sell in this neighborhood?
Larry gets to be our agent, and Steven gets to be our nosy neighbor. He just happened to be looking for an agent to maybe sell his house in the future, but he's just being a nosy neighbor.
Hi, hey, welcome to your new home, Steve. Sorry, let me say, hi, welcome to your new home. My name is Larry, and you are?
I'm Steven, but I live next door, so that's my home.
Steven, a neighbor. Hey, great. Hey, can you tell me a little bit about your experience in the neighborhood? How long have you lived here?
About 5 years.
Okay, so you kind of have the lay of the land, obviously, here. Tell me what you like about being in this neighborhood.
It's got some good parts. It's nice and spacious out here. Some of the neighbors are kind of ruckus. They like to throw some wild parties out here sometimes.
Well, I guess that's going to happen just about anywhere, though. So anything else that sticks out about, having lived here that you like, or something that's happened that you don't like, whatever, just kind of fill me in.
It's a good area. I like it. Me and my family. It's got a lot of trails and stuff. There's a school for our kids really close by.
Oh, very cool. So what's your interest in seeing this house?
I just wanted to see what they did to it so I can maybe steal some stuff that they remodeled. I talked to them before they left and they did some remodels.
Oh, cool. Well, are you pretty comfortable in your house, or are you thinking of selling soon?
Everything's up in the air. You never know.
Okay. Well, sounds good. Well, here's some information on the house. Have a look around. But when you're done, before you leave, talk to me again a little bit and tell me what you think of what you see in here.
Sure, will do. All
right, Steven. Pleasure meeting you. And talk to you on the other side here before you take off.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, Steven, obviously, you look like you're ready to go here. But what kind of feedback do you have for me, or what did you see in here that you liked or didn't like, for that matter?
I liked most of it. Their upstairs is better than mine, and their yard's a little bit bigger. I wanted a pool, but we can't get a pool in our backyard.
Well, you could always go hot tub and make it a cool tub in the summertime.
That's true.
Anyway, well, listen, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. And, thanks for stopping by. And if you hear of anyone talking about moving or thinking about buying or selling, I'd like you to think of me. Okay.
Oh, well, thank you. You got a business card?
Yep, sure. Give me a card here, and if you don't mind, off the. Oh, shoot! I'm just sorry. I just lost. I went in 3 directions at once there, so that kind of wraps it up.
Thanks, Larry.
Thanks, Stephen. Thanks for stopping in.
So yeah, the biggest thing there is it's the friendly invite. What are some key? We're going to end on this, but what are some key points of information he gave out?
He's open to selling at some point.
Yeah. How long does he live there?
5 years.
5 years. What does that typically mean?
5 to 7 years. When
Yeah, we're in that buying and selling cycle right there. We're in a peak. What doesn't he like about his house?
His backyard's not big enough.
Or what?
A pool.
Or a pool. Also, he said the upstairs is nicer than his. We could have expounded on that. Oh yeah. What do you like more about it than yours? We can find out what's enticing. Now, the key to a neighbor is the follow-up. Even if you don't get their cell phone number or email address, what do you have?
Their address.
Right? Oh, I'm a neighbor. Okay, what side of the street do you guys live on?
I'm the house right next door.
Yeah, we're 2 houses down on the left. Oh, the one, the blue garage or the red Suburban? Oh, the red Suburban. Oh, awesome, man. And then when you're driving out, you're like, red Suburban 8961.
That also gives you a good starting point to go knock on doors later on too, to go touch that neighborhood again, right?
Absolutely. When you do enough open houses in a community, you meet enough of the neighbors, you have some great opportunities. During the remodel of my house, every neighbor that's how I met my neighbors. They would come over and see, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? And big dumpster and roll-offs, and they would walk in, hey, is this your house? Are you guys gonna flip it? I'm like, no, this is my house. He's like, yeah, I know you guys are doing some really nice work. I was like, well, thank you. You want to come in and check it out? And like their eyes would get all big. Yeah, sure, let's go. And then it fortifies. Same thing with a neighbor comes into an open house. When you have another open house in that community, call up that neighbor or knock on their door and say, hey, Stephen, good to see you again, my friend. Hey, we're doing another open house this weekend down the street on that big house that you're talking about. Why don't you come check it out tomorrow at 11? I'll let you in before we start. And then give them VIP access. Nothing works better than the red velvet treatment or the red carpet treatment. You make them feel like a VIP. Guess what? They remember that. They remember that. Awesome, my friends. It is 8:33. Go do something great with your day, up to and including making 10 real estate conversations today so that you can drive to a goal of 2021 being an amazing year. Dick, I love your background. It's one of my favorites so far.
Mine too.
Cindy's is awesome. All right, my friends, if you need me, I'll see you other PC people, 2:30 today, going over that goal sheet. Check your emails. I sent it out. Some good stuff.
Thanks, Sam.
Bye, guys.